And we are back. Second King reporting live from the Cheonggyeong Palace here with Mr. Choi Hoon-oh from the Karm's retail, from Karm's store and Tommy Gun Warehouse. Now, we just covered kit number 1. Now we're going to kit number 2, or plan number 2. That's King Kit plan number 2 for your family, for family level, okay? So this is a much more beefed up system. Of course, as you recognize, way more beefed up, way more beefed up, okay? With a bigger, way bigger first aid kit in here, because obviously your family needs to have, if you have children, you have small children, and you have a scenario where it's even like a hurricane tornado, it could be a natural disaster, okay? It could be other type of disaster, chemical, nuclear war, it could be natural hurricanes, it could be earthquakes, it could be civil war, you know, anything. First aid, you're gonna have to tend to your children and tend to their wounds. Because you know kids, they get wounded. And especially if they're hunkered down, they have to hunker down for 72 hours. They're gonna be bored and they're gonna be getting cut, probably. Okay? So this is the family level kit. And of course, it's to be used obviously by the adult in the family. All right, that's why you have multiple things in here, and you have multiple. This is a way beefed up kit, very large beefed up kit. All right, so we'll start with the container element. You can see how massive this massive bush pot is. This is the biggest pot that the Pathfinder School makes. Okay, stainless steel. This is heavy gauge butterfly handles. You can still do the same thing with a huge Y stick. Probably, I don't know if you can actually lift this thing with a Y stick because it's going to be. This carries about a gallon of liquid. This will be about 4 liters. So this is like a gallon of liquid you can boil. So think about it, when you need to be hydrated and you need to keep your children hydrated in the wild or in the wilderness scenario, or even if you're in an urban scenario and you have access only to dirty water, you got to boil it. Well, you have now a gallon capacity to boil. You have a massive pot, okay? Now what's wonderful about this pot is that it's got a 3 locking positions. This position is when you're trying to use this as a Dutch oven. All right. So what you would do is you lock it up, and then when you want to lock it down, you lock it down, and you put the coals on top. You build your coals and fire around here, and this whole thing becomes a convective oven, in which you can cook Dutch oven style food. Dutch oven style food. Now with a pot this big, this also becomes a regular convective oven. How does that happen? You keep your handles up. I like doing the handles up. You put it in your fire this way. Lock your bail this way. You can even lock it like that, or just keep it off. Push it in and just lock it down completely. Put it in your fire this way. Get your bail handle off. Put a little plank of wood, a little bark, a little flat piece of bark that you shape with your knife. Just shape it into like a little plank, like a little cutting board. Put it in there. So that's resting inside there, right? Like on my hand. And then put the bread and the dough right on top of my hand. All right? Put that in the fire. Build the coals around it. Close your oven. And now you have an oven to bake biscuits, food, those comfort foods that are going to be so important in a survival situation and for your kids, especially if you've got small kids. Give them those biscuits and cookies, all the stuff. You can still do that stuff in this bush pot. So it's basically not only a water boiling container, a stew pot, not only a Dutch oven, it is also a little oven. It's a portable oven. You understand? That's why it's so versatile. That's why it's at the family level. It's so freaking massively huge. I need to pick me one of this. I only have the 2 liter. This is the newest one. This is 4 freaking liters. Massive! Look how huge that is. That's bigger than my face. My gosh. Huge, huge, huge. Also, what's wonderful thing about this is that you put that handle down. Now this becomes almost a full-size frying pan. The lid becomes a full-size frying pan. And of course, anybody who knows me and bushcraft with me, they know even my 2 liter one, the smaller, I'm always frying stuff on here, right? You saw your daddy do that many times. Sausages, bacon, I'm always frying fish, whatever. I use it as a frying pan all the time. And can you believe it? This kit comes actually with a high-quality Leatherman. Leatherman, can you believe it? Freaking Leatherman. You got a Leatherman with this kit. That is ridiculous. A Leatherman, man, I can't believe we squeezed this in. But we got the Leatherman with the one-hand operational pliers with the spring mechanism side, so you can just operate with one hand. Look how convenient that is. Even the higher level quality Leathermans don't have that. All right? But this one has the wire cutter, has the hex, the screws, pliers, and it's got the needle nose pliers, the needle nose for the very micro stuff. And of course, you just use this as a little frying pan. Look at that. Becomes a frying pan now. Easy in, easy off the fire. Easy in, easy off the fire. So simple. But you have to understand how this kit works. It works in conjunction with this multi-tool, okay? Which then, of course, becomes your redundancy. Because in this multi-tool, look at this. In this multi-tool, you've got a survival saw, a small saw, which you can use to, of course, make primitive traps, which you can use to, of course, cut smaller pieces of wood to build things, tables, chairs, all those things. A mini high-quality saw comes in tremendously in advantage. All right? There you go. You got a small little saw in your multi-tool. You also got a fine-edge blade. Now, in survival, we do not like serrated blades. Serrated blades are a waste of blade. So you have all the Leathermans, and the reason why I chose this one is because it's a full, straight blade. So even though you're in a situation where your primary knife, which is included in this kit, and also combustion device as well, fire rod there, is broken. You broke it. You still have a backup blade, which you can still do feather sticks in with. You can still light fires with, etc. You name it. It is simple to use. And every man, and every really girl too, should have a multi-tool. A multi-tool is an absolute must because tool heavy, you have to understand, in long-term survival, tools are your money. When you look at long-time survival, over 72-hour periods, tools are your money. Tools are what help you build other stuff. So the more tools you can carry in a small package, the more versatility and power you have basically in a wilderness scenario. Tools are essential, okay? This also has a serrated blade you can use for cutting cord and stuff like that. Not as useful, but you still have it. You have a file to sharpen your knives. You got a measuring gauge here. You got a lanyard hole, and you got a can opener for if you have canned goods or stored goods for your prepping. And of course on the inside here, as well on the other side, you have your standard Phillips hex, Phillips plus and minus screwdrivers. So you also have a utility tool which you can use around the house instead of fixing bikes or whatever. But at the same time, it also becomes a survival tool because it's got the survival saw and it's got the fine edge blade, not serrated blade as your primary blade, all right? And this I use all the time in conjunction. It's got the spring-loaded thing, it's got the wire cutters, all that. I use the needle nose pliers, boom, to get my fire pan and to grill up. This becomes, look at that, this becomes your fry pan right here. On top, your oven, convective oven, Dutch oven, and stew pot. I've cooked squirrels in a smaller pot, in their smaller version, 2 liter. I've cooked squirrels, I've cooked fish, everything, you name it. Anything we can catch in the wild. We've cooked raccoon, I've done raccoon in it. You know what I'm saying? This pot alone is money right here. This pot alone is money. Massive, massive 1 gallon stew pot. Look at that. And of course, we cover the Leatherman. So you got the Leatherman there too. All right? You got that as part of the family kit. Now, you got all these redundancies that come in the personal, individual kit too. All right, your 5C kit. You still got your blade. All right? You still got your redundancy with the sparkle, the fire rod inside here in the handle. You still got your mini inferno and your char tin. Don't forget about that. You got your char tin as well. All right? You got your char tin. Then you got, at the higher levels, now you got your cotton bandana. This is for first aid, bandages, slings. Also, this is a sniper veil. So in this scenario, you may need to hide certain things. You may need to hide your pack. You may need to camouflage your pack. You may need to camouflage your face. If you're gathering items for your family, you're scavenging for your family, and you're coming back to your bug out location, you may need to have camouflage. All right? So you got camouflage here. So when, for example, the dad or whoever, the son, is going out to scavenge and come back to feed the family, then you have a camo sniper veil, which also, because as you can see, the cotton is also webbed into a net. This can be used as a fish net as well in a survival situation. Okay? And how you use this as a fish net is you just place it, build up rocks in a stream. You build up rocks so there's walls, and then you place the net in between a hole that you create, right? You just build 2 walls, basically at the stream, build 2 walls here so the fish can't swim outside, and you just put the net put the shemag inside the middle. Just with some stones, hold it down there. So there's a net there. And then you walk upstream, and then you just start making a lot of noise, splashing around, and the fish will swim downstream right into where? The net. Also, you can use this to make a improvised haversack. So I have it in one of my videos that has over 150,000 views, my shemag video. Top 21 ways to use your shemag. This sniper veil can be used as an improvised haversack. You just tie it up in a diagonal fashion, and you can tie it up again, and you have a little bag that you can carry. You can carry other items, or even these items, in your little sniper veil. All right, so you got your sniper veil. Now, some of the big upgrades here. You got your survival bracelet. So that's anybody who's scavenging for your family and coming back, they would keep, the most responsible, probably the father, would keep on the survival bracelet, because he's going to be doing the most things for the family, probably, right? He's going to be the most skilled, and he's probably going to be the one who's going out to try to hunt or trap or whatever for the family. And so then you have the survival bracelet, emergency bracelet. What do you have in this small little bracelet that you just wear on your wrist? You got gorilla tape for first aid, reptile shelter for repair shelters, rafts. You have to repair rafts. You have tools for emergency. You have bandages. This becomes the best bandages. Duct tape becomes the best bandages. So we got duct tape in there. It's also flammable, and it burns black. So it also becomes a signaling device because it produces black smoke, which can be seen from far away. Okay, smoke signaling. What else you got in here? You also have wax jute twine in here, which becomes another extra redundancy tinder source. All right, you got another tinder source in there that burns for over a minute long. Okay, and you also have in here, see this in the clip, inside the clip, you have this long rod here. The middle rod is actually a ferrocerium rod. It's a fire starter, just like the one you have in here. So it's another redundancy. Even with this bracelet, you have now 2 fire starting materials that are completely waterproof, and water, not only resistant, waterproof. You can drop this in the water. I had this in Maine in the freaking ocean seawater, which rusts everything, and this thing is working fine out of the sea, the ocean. All right, so you got your ferrocerium rod, you got extra one. People who don't know, you're gonna think that's a piece of plastic. That's not plastic. That is a ferro rod. That's an extra ferro rod. And you have a scraper right up here. Scraper up here, which can also be used as a signaling mirror. Okay? Because you use that mirror to reflect light between your fingers, and you shoot that light between your fingers, and it will signal the other person with light reflections. Can be seen from over 40 miles away. Okay? Signal mirrors can be seen. You also have all that cordage here. You have about 8 to 10 feet of paracord cordage here, which again is the 550 tensile strength here. Same kind of thing. And you have a mini fishing kit in here. You have your survival mini fishing kit. You have 2 fishing hooks. You have bait with insects. You have bait that you can hook onto your fishing hooks. And then you also have fishing twine in here as well. Okay, you have your fire starter, your ferrocerium rod, and you have your paracord. I hate it when people call this a flint. This is not a flint. Flint is a type of stone, you idiots. Learn your damn survival. This is not a flint. This is a ferrocerium rod. A flint is a type of stone that has a Rockwell hardness of over 6 on the number scale. All right, that's flint. Flint is a different type of stone. You use that for flint knapping. Use that for creating primitive cutting tools. Flint is not what this is called. This is not a flint. If you see any bozos online talking about a ferro rod as a flint, you know that idiot doesn't know what he's talking about. It's a ferrocerium rod comprised of soft mixed metals and a different type of mixed metals that comprise a ferrocerium or ferro rod. All right, so get it straight. So you get that survival bracelet inside the family kit as well. Of course, you have the heavy-duty reflective tarp. One side is green. This is the same in your personal kit too, in a small kit too. One side is green. Okay, one side is this one green? I believe this, yeah, this one is green. One side is green for camouflage. One side is silver for reflective. So you use the one side of silver if you're in the desert and you want to reflect the sun away from you and you need shelter from the scorching sun. You put the reflective side up so the sun is reflected away from you and it's cooler inside, you understand? In a wilderness scenario where you need camo, you have this reflecting inside, so you create your fire inside underneath the shelter, close to the shelter, and the fire through convective heating, will reflect off of that silver material and come back and hit you. So that reflective material will hit you if you're laying down underneath that tarp. And the fire is here, you see? The fire will reflect back onto you and give you double the heat. And that's how you use your reflective tarp. This, of course, is reflective, so you can use it as what? Signaling device. Hello? This is a big signal mirror. Huge signal mirror. You can just shine it into an airplane and get signaling and rescue. All right, so you got that same tarp. Camouflage. Carrier transporter. Charger transporter. Load hauler. Shelter. Ground tarp. Emergency blanket. And gear cover. Of course, if somebody is very cold and they're injured, you put this blanket on top of them with the silver side down, so their heat is reflected back to them. 90% of their body heat can be reflected back to them from the conduction and the reflective energy. That is reflecting your own ambient radiant body energy back onto you. Okay? So that's also included in the kit. Now, this is also included in the kit. This is a family style kit. This is from SOL. Very good survival company. And this has way higher levels, okay, of stuff. All right, so what we got in here? We got dressing, moleskins, pre-cut and shape. Okay, so you got a first aid kit in here, as you can see in the picture here. All right, right here. You can see in the picture. Right here. All right. So you got dressings, you got moleskins, which are for preventing blisters. You got dressings and gauze. You got sterile pads, 2x2 sterile pads. You got 3x3 sterile pads. You got dressing, two of each. You got 2 dressing gauze sterile 4x4 pads. You got 2 of those. You got 2 more dressing non-adherent sterile pads, 3x4s. You got 1 bandage conforming gauze, a non-sterile, 2 inches. You got 4 bandage adhesives with fabric. You got 2 bandage adhesives, fabric, and knuckles. You got 4 bandage butterfly closures. You got 1 tape and cloth, 1/2 inch by 10 yards. You got 4 ibuprofen tablets. This is all part of your first aid kit still. It's part of your medical kit. You got 2 antihistamines or anti-allergy stuff. 2 after bite, sting, and itch relief wipes. You got 3 after cuts and scrapes anesthetics and antiseptic wipes. You got 3 triple antibiotics in here. You got 1 tincture of benzoin topical skin adhesive, vial. You got 1 povidone iodine solution, which can also be used to purify your water. You have 1 splinter picker and tick remover forceps. You have 1 nitrile glove pairs with hand wipes. And you got 1 EMT shears to cut through clothing so that you can get to traumatic wounds. That's in this medical kit. All right? That's not only in here. That's a medical kit combined with survival kits. You also have survival and gear repair kit here as well. You have another SOL survival blanket in here. Another survival blanket is in here. All right? You also have you have also an emergency LED headlamp and light clip in here as well for visibility and 2 hands usage in the nighttime. All right? You also have 1 button compass in here. You have a slim rescue howler or whistle. You also have a fire starter in here as well. A redundancy with your ferrocerium rod. Now you have over 3 different ways of effecting fire. You have 4 Tinder Quick fire starters, but you also, of course, get the Pathfinder, the Mini Inferno in this kit as well. You have 2 aluminum foil heavy-duty 3 square feet of 2 of those sets. So now you can use that aluminum foil to make into containers, which you then can hold water in and boil water in. You can boil water on the fire, or you can fire up the rocks. Put rocks into the fire, not water rocks in streams because they'll explode. But you make sure they're dry rocks. You put them in the fire, and then you take them out with sticks and throw them into your aluminum foil. That will boil the water for you, and that will make it potable and able to be drunk. So you also have extra containers in it. Even though you have this huge container, you still have an extra container in here as well with aluminum foil. You have 5 safety pins, which have millions of survival usages, including even if you have to make a lockpick set in an urban survival situation. You got 3 cable ties, which also can be used as urban handcuffs if you have an intruder that you can beat up with your family. And then to restrain them, you can use the cable ties as handcuffs. Make sure you just handcuff them behind their back, because there's a way to escape out of those if you put them in front. So make sure you handcuff them behind their back. Cable ties, all right? You got 3 cable ties that are 8 inches. You got 3 cable ties that are 4 inches. And those are also good for making primitive shelters as well. Very fast to lash things together, tripods, you name it. You also got 4 nylon cords that are 18 pounds strength, braided, 150-pound test, 10 feet long. I'm sorry, 150-pound test, that means 150-pound strength, and they're 10 feet long. Okay, so you have another survival kit inside here, all right, included in this pack. All right, and you got another pouch. All right, so here you just open that up, and you have this like this. It opens up. Survival tools and gear, medical supplies. That's your med kit. All right, this is your survival tools, and a big signal mirror as well here. You got nylon cordage, you got the headlamp, you got the signal mirror, big signal mirror. That's a huge signal mirror. You got the fire starters right here. You got the whistle. You got the tinders, compass. You got your nylon cord. You got your survival bracelet, you got your rescue signal mirror, you got your containers with the aluminum metal foils. All right, and that comes in an opening bag, which then is also brightly colored so you don't lose it, and can use for signaling as well. So that's also included in the family kit. Also included in the family kit, check it out, 550 cord, but not 100 feet, 200 feet, 200 feet of cordage. 200 feet of cordage, 550 spec, mil spec, 550 cord. Bam, you get a whole roll of that. All right, that'll last you forever. And then, just for ease of use for the wild and for quick processing of river or stream water for your family, instead of boiling it, that takes time, you just throw it into your Sawyer water filter. I use this over Colorado trip because it was so fast, so easy. I don't have to boil water, don't have to spend 10 minutes to boil water. But you can get about 1 liter of water in here, super fast. Just pour the water right in here, and inside here, what's it got? It's got the syringe for back flushing. That's for back flushing, and it's got the Sawyer water filter. This Sawyer water filter is the best water filter. Don't waste your money on other water filters. The Second King has already tested all the damn water filters. The UN-approved Life Straw only does 10,000 liters. The Sawyer water filter does 100,000 gallons. Gallons. That's 400,000 liters. UN-approved one does only 10,000 liters. This does 400,000 liters. So you do the math. You drink 1 liter water, 1 liter of water, 1 gallon of water per day, let's say. You do the math. This will last you 300 years. Actually, 400 years. Over 300 years, this will last you. If you drink 1 gallon of water per day, and look how small it is. Look how compact that is. What I do is I put my fishing kit right on here. I just tape it on right here. I have like 20 different flies from my fishing kit right here, wrapped in my kit. This goes with me everywhere in my leather bag, in my survival bag. Always, this is by far the best filter. But what's so nice about this is it comes with a container. So you just throw water in there, dirty water, contaminated water, okay? You got your little straws in here. You got your extra straw here. So you got the little lip here, which opens up. And you got your little straw. I use this all the way through the Rocky Mountains, baby. You pour your water in, close it up. It can be dirty, putrid, feces water, and you drink it. It could be a trough that you're moving through of some farmland, and there's cows that are drinking from a trough. Well, just take that water, and you can filter it, and you're clean. You're good to go. This will filter filthy, filthy water. I've drank swamp water, nasty swamp water, through this filter. No problem. That's how good this system is. So nice to have. And then you get clean water and just back flush the filter once in a while. Back flush that filter once in a while with your syringe. Okay? So you got this kit here. Easy to use, and that's why we put it in the Sawyer kit, because it's so easy to use. It's a no-brainer. It's a easy screw off, pour the water in, and just drink. So you need to get your children hydrated fast. You can't mess around with boiling water or things like that. And sometimes in a survival situation, you can't make a fire in a wilderness scenario because enemies who are pursuing you can see the fire. So this way, you have access to water just by stream. You can still conceal yourself in the dark and just have your family drink from the stream with this water. And of course, you can carry it over distance, which is fantastic. This water filter and bottle, it's blue, yeah, okay, but it may look blue, but it is fantastic. By far, the best water system on the market to date. So you get all that, plus you get one test meal. All right, to practice your kit. We want you to practice your kit. You can fill it with other type of food supplies in there, but we give you one meal for your family so you can practice with your kit. Practice with your kit. Get your kit, boil water in it on the fire. Make a fire with your kit. Practice with your tinders. Practice with your fire implements. Throw in some ramen noodles. These are the ones that we have. You can, what is this? Chef's Best Excellence Award. Hot and spicy noodles. Just throw in those ramen noodles. And you get 5 udon sausages that Koreans and Japanese love. Throw them in there, and there at least you get one practice meal. All right? We put in there so you get a practice meal. Test your kit out. As soon as you get it, practice with it. Fry these up on your fry pan with your Leatherman. Get your exercise in. Get your repetitions in. These are conditions you make before you use the kit in an emergency situation where you're stressed out and under duress. So you get that whole meal kit. You get one meal to test your kit. Basically, or you get 3 meals if you want. If you eat small, you can have 3 meals. Whatever. But we packed a lot in there so you can just fill that whole thing up. Hit, a big bowl of ramen noodles. Call your kids out to the backyard. You know what I'm saying? Have a good time. Have a little bushcrafting time. Have a little fireside chat. And test your gear. Get your gear dirty. Get your gear tested. And then, of course, all your other kit here. Now, all of this, because then we have the high quality Pathfinder Haversack super high quality deluxe bag. This is a Haversack kit. This is a super high quality mil-spec bag. This water bottle goes right in here. Boom. You're set, good to go. With a drawstring right in here. Incorporated on the side so it don't go nowhere. All cool, tight coyote tan, camel, and also Pathfinder embroidery right on the front. Heavy duty mil-spec buckles with the MOLLE strapping. This can be your fire kit. This can be your survival, whatever you want to put in there. This can be for your tarp. You know what I'm saying? You put that in there. You got all these mini buckles and zippers everywhere on this pack. I mean, you got tons. You got the aeration pads on the back so you don't sweat. You got more MOLLE strapping on the top. You got more of a MOLLE pockets on top of that with MOLLE webbing. And you got another pocket, again, where you put your fire kit, your fishing kit, you name it. And this huge bush pot fits in here. Fits in here. In this heavy duty, high quality Cordua Pathfinder Haversack. Look at that. That thing looks dope. Look how awesome and modern that looks. All right. Now, when you get this, you're going to be very mixed up with all these straps. All right. So I'm going to explain these straps to you so you can understand. These straps are going to really boggle your mind. You're not going to know how to strap them up together. So very simple. There's 3 different straps, folks. Okay. One strap has all these clips hanging off it, right? That's your belt strap, okay? That's for your belt. That's for your waist. This is for your waist belt. All right, so let's leave that aside. That's just your waist belt. So if you want a waist belt, which you can have, you can attach that to your pack. But keep that aside for now. All right? Then you got these with the shoulder pads. All right? You got the shoulder pads, right? And these shoulder pads allow you to do what? They allow you to configure this pack into a backpack configuration with 2 straps, or a haversack configuration, what we call messenger style bag, right, in the urban places. I like doing it as a messenger style bag, all right, so let's show that. You just get these 2 straps, clip them together, all right? Now you got the straps on the back. So this is an easy way, like a purse. It's like a lady's purse. Just think of a lady's purse. You got a pack right, you got a strap right here, and you got another buckle right here. So just clip that on. It's not complicated. It's just people don't know how to use it. All right. So now look, you got like a bag that is attached like that. Very simple, right? You see that? And you just throw it over like a haversack. Boom. And now that's on like a haversack. Adjust it how you will. And now you got this big haversack with a huge, awesome, high quality Pathfinder embroidered pack. All right. And all this kit, you can just toss right in here. All this kit, Just toss it on here. And that's like your family go bag. This can be your bug bag. This can be your emergency family bug in bag. Okay, but it's away. You can even leave it in a car for a car bag. 72-hour kit. This is a little too big for a 72-hour kit, but you can keep this in your house or right near the door with a grab handle. It's good to go. Boom. You know, just grab the back. You're good to go. All right. Keep all that in. Throw a couple meals in there. Throw a couple, ready-to-eat meals, instant meals. You know, use this one that we give you this food. I want you to test it. I want you to test the items. I want you to work these items. And then you keep it in there and you throw a couple, camping meals in there, 5 or whatever, just emergency for a 24-hour situation, 72-hour situation, you name it. You got your water bottle purification kit. You got all the stuff. You just keep in there and you store it. And it's good to go. And of course, if you go camping, use it. Practice with it. Practice with your kit. All right? So you get all this incredible items with all those redundancies, all those details that I showed you about the knife, the combustion device, the Leatherman. You got a high quality Leatherman that lasts a lifetime. You got the Inferno with the mini Inferno with the char tin. You got the 1 gallon monster pot. 1 gallon monster pot. I mean, that is awesome. You got the survival bracelet with the fire rod inside there, and the fishing kit, and the jute twine, and the paracord, you name it. You get the 5x8 tarp with reflective siding. You get the sniper bail, fishnet, you name it. You get that 1 meal test kit that you do to boil your kit, make a meal as soon as you get the kit. You get 200 feet of paracord. You get a soy water filter with the water bottle, which goes 100,000 gallons of purified water. Within any type of stream, any natural water, body of water, lakes, streams, swamps, you can drink from them with this kit, all right, without boiling. You get that medical supply kit and extra survivor gear kit, all right, all that, and the pack by the pack, all right, with the belt strap here. All that is the family level kit, and that's what, plan number 2. How much is that normally?
Normally it's $360.
$360 normally for Sanctuary.
$299.
$299.99, baby. So normally $360. Now, thank you, Kukchinim Car Arms. They're giving to Sanctuary for $299.95. Normally $360. It's going to be $299.95 for the family level kit. All right, and that's family plan number 2. Now, family plan number 3 is all this, same that you saw in number 2, but it includes this huge bucket. What is this big bucket? This is family plan number 3. This family plan number 3, oh, this huge bucket. Huge bucket, all right? This is family plan number 3. All this stuff, family plan number 2, with plan number 3, 120 meals. 120 servings of food for bug-in scenarios, or if in a scenarios where you have to feed your family for over an extended period of time. 120 servings of food, and you get this, of course, 5-gallon drum. You can use that for trapping, you can use it for sitting, you can use it as a bench, you name it. You can use it just for holding water after you're done, so you can purify water and not go back and forth in the stream. Oh, big pack of food. All right, you got meals like apple cinnamon cereal, granola crunch, brown sugar maple multigrain cereal, crunchy green, granola, whatever, you name it. You got lasagna in here. What else you got? You got all sorts of food in here. You got lasagnas, you got beef stroganoff and all this kind of stuff. But there's your 120 servings of food.
And it's long line.
Ready-made foods. This bucket is the just breakfast, it looks like, but we need the ones with the actual meals in there, okay? These are just breakfast here, but as a sample. But the number ones that you're going to get is going to have the meals in there with the lasagna and the spaghettis and the soups and the stews. And of course, we have the 120 servings. This then goes with the whole second plan kit for your third plan kit. Ooh. Right. Third plan kit. This can store for 25 years. 25 years. So in the case that you don't have a survival situation or disaster in your area, you can still use it for camping because it'll store for 25 freaking years. Why is this company that also Kuchinim knows? So you're going to help an American-made company. I believe they're Mormon. I think they're Mormon. Anyways, he knows the owner, and Wise Foods, delicious foods, and you just add water. You just boil water and just cook up the foods. So it's used for camping, and you can store it for 25 years, etc. you get all this plus that, plus the 120 servings for how much normally?
506.
506 normally?
Normally, yeah.
And for sanctuary?
It's 429.
$429.95 with the 120 meals included with the family pack, all right? So that's huge. Let's say that again. 506 normally.
For sanctuary,
For sanctuary,
429.
$429. Damn! Thank you, Kukchinam. Thank you, Kukchinam. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Kukchinam. So these are the packs. Will be different plans that the king has put together. And the Karam Retail Store is sponsoring us to give us these great discounts for sanctuary and people in God's authority to be awake and prepared. We'll be right back after a short break. Stay with us on the Kids Report.